My name is Mac Healy, and I'm chairman of the board of directors of the North Carolina Civil War and Reconstruction History Center. And it's an honor to have you all here. I can't tell you how much you being here, and more importantly, y'all's support throughout this whole process has been critical to getting us to this point today. You noticed when you came in, I hope, these signs. We'll talk a lot about today about the education, but one of the main purposes of this project is the education. These are stories that have been given to us from people inside the state, outside the state, local, around the state, and they're stories about how this war affected people in North Carolina. And that's really what this is about. This is all about how that period, a little bit before the Civil War and all the way to 1900, affected the people of North Carolina. So go to these signs, and if you get a chance, look at them. And on the bottom, the QR code, you can click and you can read the full story. We just have a little abbreviation, but it's an important part of who we are and what we've done. Sherry up here at the front is responsible for collecting all these stories. She vets them. She makes sure that if people like I was coming here with just a total made-up story to make myself look good, she would nix it and throw it out. So she's our gatekeeper. We have some special guests I just quickly want to run down. Ken Howard, director of the State History Museum. Representing the county commissioners, we have Jimmy Keefe. Representing City Council, we have Johnny Dawkins, Kathy Jensen, and Antonio Jones, I believe. Thank you all. Our Cumberland County delegation all wanted to be here. The governor scheduled a vote for 11 o'clock today, so unfortunately they're doing what we all want them to do, which is watch our interest in Raleigh. You'll see in your program that Representative John Soka is supposed to be next. I'm going to read a statement from him, but so I won't ask any of them to stand up because they're all in Raleigh doing business. Actually, except for John. John has COVID, so that's why he gave me a statement. Let's see. We have two different groups here. We have a local foundation board, and we have an advisory board. I would ask those people to please stand and recognize them. Folks, they do all the heavy lifting. Some of us get a chance to stand up here in front, but these are the people that have been there behind the scenes helping us get to this point, so we can't thank them enough. And I see Mary Holmes from Cumberland Community Foundation, representing Cumberland Community. That was the first organization to step up in this town and say we're behind that and make a pledge. And it really springboarded us with a lot of your pledges, and certainly with the state and the city, that if a group as well respected as they are stood up. So I can't thank them enough for being the spark for our fire. Judge Jim Ammons was scheduled, but oh, you're there, okay. And then two guests you've met before, but I want to make sure we introduce Jerry Eisterholt, who's in charge of our exhibit design. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see all the great things across the country that Jerry's done, and it's a real tribute to us that he's able to work on this project with us. And then Victor Vines, who is our architect. Victor and his firm designed the building. If you look around here, there's some up-and-coming weekly. They were kind enough to put us as the lead article. Please pick up a copy of that. It's one of the great articles that have come out in the last few days about us. But Victor, and I say this at every groundbreaking because it still baffles me, Victor already won an award for the building, and we haven't even broken ground yet. So that's how good he is. There's a number of people that have been working on this project for a lot of years, and this would not have been made possible without a whole lot of other improvements that happen in Cumberland County, without the dedication of our state leadership. As you all know, we went to the city and county and got another spark to help us with the state in getting their commitment, and they've been great partners in standing by our side. But in the last 6 months, our delegation went to Raleigh and returned over $400 million to Cumberland County, by far the largest amount ever done. And the thing I think that stood out for me the most was these were leaders. One of my favorite leadership quotes is from Dr. Martin Luther King, and I like to read it when I think about what they did for us. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. If you happen to know or see these elected officials, thank them for their courage and their leadership to bring Fayetteville to where it is today. And I firmly believe on the verge of a renaissance. Early on, somebody looked at me and they said, why not Fayetteville? Fayetteville deserves this. So I think it's a great time for all of you to give yourself a hand, and also those elected officials who've helped us. But without your support, we would not have gotten this far. Thank you. You'll notice that we don't call ourselves a museum, we call ourselves a history center. And I hope you saw what, if you listen to what just happened, that's what this is all about. This is about telling stories. You know, every time I come to an event like this, I learn something. And that's what the History Center is going to be all about, is an opportunity to learn more from different people. We have an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity this time to get a caliber of this type of person. One question we get asked a lot is, who's writing this history? That's one of the main historians in our program, so you can see the kind of caliber of people that we bring that are going to tell this story. So thank you, it's a pleasure. And we'll definitely have you back for the ribbon cutting. You know, as I sit here and look out at the people in this room, I want to thank you, because these are the warriors that quietly sometimes, or maybe in front of other people, take the arrows. You guys have made Fayetteville what it is. I said earlier that I think Fayetteville stands on the edge of a renaissance. We stand on the edge of resuming where I personally think we should have been. I was talking to somebody new to Fayetteville the other day, and I mentioned that did they happen to know where the Constitution of the United States was ratified? Right here in Fayetteville at the Market House. Did anybody happen to know where? And I said to him, because this guy had worked with the UNC school system, I said, you know where the oldest university system in the country was ratified? Right here in Fayetteville. I also threatened that I'm Mary Lynn Bryan, who is the founder of this organization, is an author, and I keep telling her that we're going to write the book at some point. And I always said my book was going to be titled One Vote. Because, oh, by the way, Fayetteville lost being the capital by one vote. The work that's gone on for us and politically for the rest of this town has been phenomenal. We stand on the edge of reclaiming what we should have been the whole time, which is a moving force in the state of North Carolina. We stand on the edge of being a community that tackles the tough questions, asks the hard questions, studies the things that nobody else wants to know. We've talked a lot about the fact that social studies teachers throughout the state of North Carolina will tell you that they don't teach this period because they're afraid they'll say the wrong thing. Well, when you have fantastic historians that can document everything that they're saying and teach people like myself who didn't learn these kind of things, that's worth fighting for. So as I look out at all these warriors who've made Fayetteville what it is today, I ask you just a little while longer. Let's keep being warriors for this cause. If you got a neighbor or you got a politician that's not here today, make sure to tell them what you saw today. And make sure to tell them how important this is going to be. When we bring over 150,000 people to this community, and again, on a personal note, I will tell you, totally on a selfish note, my kids were raised here in Fayetteville, born and raised, went to public school here in Fayetteville, and I quite frankly got tired of putting them on a bus to go to other places to learn the history of North Carolina. This is our shot to get those kids from all those places my kid visit down here to learn something about Fayetteville and learn something about the whole country. So thank you all for being warriors. One more thing I need to mention. Actually two. Please take a look at your program. We have sponsors for this event, and it couldn't happen without them. Second of all, I'm a salesman, and so there's got to be a little sizzle at some point in the show. So I want to tell you that one of the things that we've heard a lot of questions about is the name. The name. You all know that when we started, it was just called the North Carolina Civil War History Center. As we evolved, we realized that the name Reconstruction needed to be in there to better have people understand what this was all about. We're undergoing a potential another name change. You have to understand that this is owned by the state of North Carolina. The decision of the name rests with the Secretary of Natural and Cultural Resources in the state of North Carolina. We've had numerous meetings with this group, and they're entertaining a new name. I will tell you now, and I'm probably not supposed to do it, but what the heck, nobody's going to fire me. I'm going to tell you that we have proposed a name that we hope this center will become. It's not final until the state rules on it, but I want you all to think about this name and whether it even better reflects what you just heard and what we're all about. The name we proposed for the future is the North Carolina Civil War Emancipation and Recreation History Center. Reconstruction. That's why I have the good doctor here. I messed it up. Emancipation and Reconstruction History Center. Thank you. By adding the name Emancipation, I think we cover what you just heard. I think it better describes what we will teach her. So we're excited. Hopefully the state will approve that name, and we were hoping we could have it by today and have a big banner out here showing you it. But hopefully we propose that to the secretary, and they are considering it. It's their final decision. Okay, last but not least, I read my program and it says groundbreaking. Couldn't be a groundbreaking unless we formally break some ground. So I'm going to ask Dr. Crew to join me back here, and I'm going to ask, again, the founder that put this whole idea together, Mary Lynn Bryant, if she wouldn't mind joining us. 1, 2, doesn't have 3.
Yay!
Thank you. All right.